That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 166 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm the other camp counselor, Ned Arnell Mencia.
And that's Carlos Mencia's real name. And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and moon?
Yeah.
And before we... What?
Check, look at that moon, huh? Honey, come look at that moon.
I love it.
My God, look at all that cheese. That white cheddar.
What are you talking... Oh, because the moon.
The moon's made out of white cheddar.
Yeah.
I like white cheddar with a little crunch in it.
Big cheese guy.
I'm not, but I do like me a white cheddar with a little bit of crunch.
You are a Packerhead.
Yeah, I'm a cheesehead. That doesn't mean I eat my own head. You know what I mean? Can we not talk about the Packers right now?
Yeah, sorry. But Wallace and Gromit really
good
was
old
like
Wallace.
It was formative for me in the cheese eating area. You know, just watching them eat that moon made out of cheese is just
big
I don't
Gromit
know.
head.
It did. Wait, Gromit was the dog, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
The dog's name wasn't Wallace.
That is easily a fucking dog name.
More than Gromit?
He's English.
Okay, Gromit.
That kind of... I mean,
well, at least our schools...
Oh, we like cheese. You guys turn your students into Swiss cheese.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I didn't make the joke.
Just a little bit of banter, huh?
Just a bit of banter. Pitch looking lovely today. I was doing my Irish accent around the office today.
Yeah. How was that received?
Chitey. Yeah, I just do it to a couple of people.
Yeah.
Top of the morning.
Just testing the waters.
Top of the morning. No, it's fine. My birthday's on
You're
St.
everybody's
Patrick's Day.
least favorite person in the
I walked into every office. Top of the morning to you. And the rest of the day to yourself.
I would love for a study where someone just does that from their first day at work and how quickly everybody just turns on them.
It's called Ireland, dog.
No, I mean, obviously, like, outside of where you're making a parody of, like, a culture.
Okay. I have to say this. If any Irish people come over to America and want to work in an office, you better fucking change your voice right now.
That's different. And
they
you
don't know
it.
I'm not
You
Irish.
know it. They do know it.
No, I've been faking it.
Okay.
Anyway, we're back to bring the moon. And the moon is back.
The moon's back, guys. You fucking idiots. I know it's been gone for a while, but it's back.
I love a good moon sighting. I love when the moon's real big on the horizon and everybody goes, "Oh my God, look at how big that moon is." That's so fun.
Every time you and your loved ones are enjoying a bottle of wine on top of the hill looking at the moon, you guys got to at least acknowledge the fact.
Jack Skellington?
You got to acknowledge the fact that we brought it back for you guys because it was gone.
You didn't even notice.
It was gone very quickly, and we noticed, and we fixed that real quick.
Do you remember the day when you were a child?
God, yeah.
Do you remember the Do you remember the day when you were a child and you figured out that the moon is still out when the sun's out? I did not fucking like that. I was like, "Oh my God, the moon's out right now?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, like the moon's like always there. It's just like the sun's like, you know, I mean, it's not always there, but you know what I mean."
My childhood
It's
was
not
filled...
always there because we brought it back. It's not always there.
Yeah.
Don't take the moon for granted.
My childhood was filled with concussion after concussion, so I don't really remember those earlier days.
Yeah, didn't they call you Moonface Boy back in the day? Yeah, Moonface.
Probably. I don't remember.
I have craters in my head.
I'm riddled with craters. Let's not.
What's that tallest mountain on the moon called? Like Mount
Me.
Olympus.
It's Mount David.
Did you just say Mount Me?
Mount Me. It's Mountain David.
If you say it more aggressive, I'm not going to do it.
I know. I've tried.
Mount Me. Anyway, Okay, we gotta tell you some fucking weird news stories before.
I mean, we can keep this train rolling, man. We disappeared for a little bit. That was my bad. I was going through what you could call like a quarter crisis, but we are back. Hopefully things are better. I've been dealing with a sick dog, and it's been no fun. But it is what it is, and that's part of being a pet owner. We're here to have fun. Hopefully we're on the up and up. What's new with you?
And while David was out doing dog shit, I was bringing the moon back. Okay, guys?
Hey,
I
don't
didn't lie.
act like I didn't sacrifice a lot for the moon to come back. I was there.
Have you guys even noticed the moon in the past 2 weeks?
I lost
Didn't
all
think
my
so.
gemstones.
Didn't think so.
I had to trade all my gemstones to a cowardly wizard in space for him to grant me the moon boots, or else my legs would have crumbled on the surface.
It's true. He did sacrifice quite a bit. That was and I had to climb up Mount Me.
Yeah.
Mount Me.
There's no way my knees were going to put me up Mount Me. I stood at the bottom and I cheered.
Oh, no. Olympus Mons is on Mars, huh? That's the tallest mountain. Olympus Mons.
That sounds like a good name.
Yeah, I think someone came up with it. I didn't just make it up. Anyway.
No, I could tell. You see that? You see that new Avatar yet?
No.
Holy cow! Let me tell you.
Is there a moon in it?
About 20 minutes left in this 4-hour movie.
Are you supposed to spoil it?
They just start banging, and the main guy, Jake Sully, he's like rolling around the bushes with a machine gun, and this action's getting him rock hard. And he stands up, and his loincloth comes down, and there's like a perfectly perched toucan, sitting there, blocking most of it, but you see all of the balls.
Okay, because I was wondering, I'm like, they're such tall, giant people, you would think that the loincloth... Is that you? What the fuck?
That's a medicine alarm.
Oh, fuck. Wait, no, the moon's gone. I gotta go.
God.
Oh, fuck, the moon. I'm coming, moon!
So yeah, in Avatar, you get to see these
that worth
big
the
old
bit?
blue balls. Huh? Yeah.
I can't hear you yet. One sec.
No, sorry. That was, I forgot that I have a ton of alarms on my phones on when I need to give my dog medicine. But don't worry, don't worry.
You got the moon disease.
Once the moon went away, things went south, and we had to handle that.
I'm kind of loving this script right now. But what I was just gonna say, I thought they'd have bigger penises.
Well, this toucan is rather gargantuan.
Okay, no, I'm just mean like I'm surprised like they can get away with wearing loincloths, you know?
It's
like
true. Well, they're much like a pig's tail. They curl up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I opened up a bottle of wine on one of those bastards.
Oh, you're gonna need a bottle of wine.
Okay, I gotta get to this weird news, man. I mean, we're weirder than any news you could throw at us.
We're
but
so
I got
weird.
dude. I'm just kind of kooky, you know. Don't bring me to your party because I'm going to steal their gold. Bring me to your housewarming party.
There he goes again.
There we go. So former Colorado funeral homeowner sentenced to 20 years for selling body parts.
Yeah, they're not gonna need them.
Oh, they're mine now.
I think it's fair game.
I think
Internal's fine. Exterior. Internal is fine.
Okay.
Exterior, probably not.
Yeah, because you're gonna put them
Except
in
for
a big
toes.
old.
You can lose toes. No one's doing an open coffin toe reveal, right? Are
Who's
people doing
buying
that?
toes?
Oh baby, let me tell you, there's a market for everything.
Let me ask you this: what do you think is the most expensive body part, and what do you think is the least expensive body part? And I don't have an answer. I made it sound like I'm gonna be
Okay.
like you're right or wrong. I don't know. I'm just asking.
I mean, immediately I would say the heart is the most expensive.
Damn, I would say the brain.
You cannot transplant a brain.
You can't transplant a dead fucker's heart.
I don't know if it's good to go. It's good to pump. Let's pump on, baby. Let's pump it up.
Just give it a couple
Joe Budden.
smacks. Give it a couple smacks.
Yeah. I think
it up.
easily the heart. Least expensive, I would say, would probably be the appendix, because I don't even got one of those no more. You don't need it. It's more of like a luxury vehicle It's a bragging thing, you know.
Yeah. I think the most expensive, maybe, yeah, like I said, the brain. Maybe not the brain. I'm just gonna say like you could study the brain, but if that brain dead, it's just dead.
Yeah.
It's a lot of synapses. You need some electricity in that shit to like look and to study it. Heart, you could cut that shit in half and be like, look at these valves. And the least expensive would probably be my diabetes.
I got 2 other ones I think would be mighty valuable.
Okay.
Well, I guess you could say 3: the lungs.
Oh, that's interesting.
And the kidney.
But once again, do these have? Okay, so
are they usable? I don't know.
Exactly, that's what I think. So
I think the lungs would be fine. They're just big old leathery sacks. So you just fill them
like
later.
a balloon. You know,
they're not really doing much. Your mouth's doing all of work.
David's lungs collapse, and he's like, "Don't worry, guys. I got my mouth. I'm good.
I'm good to go."
So this lady who's like 46, like I said, she ran like a funeral home, and she got the maximum, which is 20 years, because you can't defile a dead body. I believe that is a federal law.
Well, I feel like that's a sexual thing, is it not?
No, I mean you can't take a dead person and like not do non-sexual things to him as well, I believe.
Oh well, yeah, okay.
Like move him around Bernie style, you know, like Weekend at Bernie.
Big felony.
You can't be doing that. That's for the comedians.
The movie's kind of fucked up, man. My mom liked that movie.
That movie was so fucked up. They made 2 of them.
Did they stop? It was so bad they stopped at 2.
How was that? They probably have like a straight to DVD third. But how did they make a second one? Is that like right after the first one? When does he start decomposing?
Yeah, they only made 2. How did they end up with this dead body again? And it was 4 years later. That body's no good.
Because they got a hold of this lady. But here's the best part. She got 20 years, and her 69-year-old mother, 69, got 15 years. She also pleaded guilty. And just to... where's the part that I thought was interesting? So it says, Hess' lawyer said she has been unfairly vilified as a witch, a monster, and a ghoul. Literally, I feel like...
that's a Lil Wayne verse.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm a motherfucking ghoul. What's a ghoul to a lady that steals dead people's arms? What's that ghoul to a goblin? No, but like, I just think those are really funny words because like I think a ghoul is like that's the definition of like somebody that like robs graves. So like,
sure.
I think she's appropriately vilified as a ghoul. That's fine. Witch, no potions. Don't believe it. Monster, she's not eating the bodies. Not really good.
Well,
ghoul though,
Be.
perfect. And then the lawyer says she's vilified when she's not any of those things. In fact, she's a broken human being, which is so much meaner.
She's trying to fix herself, ladies and gentlemen.
She needs a new arm. You guys don't get it. She has bolts in her neck.
One strong arm.
She's building her husband. She's broken. She needs this. But it says she's a broken human being whose conduct can be attributed, this is bullshit, to a traumatic brain injury at 18. Are you fucking kidding me? I think that's so funny when lawyers like will just do anything. I mean, that's their job to do anything to get the person off, but everybody's always like, they hit their head. I picture the meeting with the lawyer being like, okay, Deborah, you stole all those body parts. That wasn't great.
Not good.
What are we working with? Did you ever hit your head? Yeah, I bumped my head on a cabinet when I was 18. That we'll use it.
We're good. We're golden.
What the a traumatic brain injury bullshit. Yeah. She's got that traumatic brain injury called I want that money. Because she was selling it. It's illegal in the United States to sell organs such as hearts, kidneys, and tendons for transplant. They must be donated. But selling body parts such as heads, arms, and spines, which is what Hess did, the woman did.
That's all decoration.
For use in research or education is not regulated by federal law. So why is she getting arrested?
So she wasn't.
It's not regulated. It's still illegal. It's not regulated, but it's still illegal.
So she wasn't like selling organs. She was selling the bones.
Yes, and then I think she was kind of doing like not bones. No, she was selling like a human head. Like, here's your head.
Okay, so these people were clearly being cremated. So I mean, I don't know.
But here's the funny thing.
This is where it gets funny.
This is where it gets really funny. I believe that she was like just taking like a bunch of different cremated people, like a popcorn concession stand worker, and just like filling up the bag and being like, here's your loved one, when in fact there was probably like, I think she was cutting the ashes with like baby formula, basically. Like, she was like mixing in other people's fucking ashes that were like probably really fat or something like that. And they're like, we got like double ashes on this guy.
That's like a huge conspiracy too, is like people, I've heard this before, where people like are convinced that when they get their pets cremated, that they're like, this is just some random other like pet. Like, this is not my pet, which is fucked.
That's the thing. You gotta have an ethical. I know a guy who's really ethical. He really gives you just the ashes you pay for. That's what I always like. That's why I like going to him. Or if not, I just put them on the stove and let them cook for a while until they char up. Then I hit him in the back of the backyard with like a baseball bat until they turn into dust.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not even about the ashes. That's a nice sentiment. It's about the memories. They can never take the memories from you.
They never can.
They'll try. They'll try to switch your brain out when you're sleeping with a dead person's brain.
It's true.
It's fucked up. And
it's
everybody's
fucked
like, I don't know
up,
how he
happens.
died. I don't know how he died. He still has his brain. He has this big cut around the top of his head, but his brain's still in there, so I don't know how he died.
It doesn't fit super good, but it's in there.
Well, it's upside down. He must have done a headstand. I don't know. Maybe that's what happened to him. Did a headstand too good.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
You
got one.
Taliban asks for Andrew Tate to be freed.
Damn, that was my other one.
Claims to be worried about him.
Okay.
I guess so. Like, I mean, I'm not even the most informed about this topic. I don't know the guy. I've never watched his stuff. All I know, this individual named Andrew Tate is just like the embodiment of toxic masculinity, right?
Hell yeah, brother.
Like, that's his whole thing, is like men are superior.
He's always just like I saw him go on a tangent about like, this is where it really lost me. I didn't really know much about him. Then he's like, if you cook, you're an idiot. You should never be spending your time cooking. Cooking is for stupid people who waste time. You could be making money. And I was like, I don't think this guy understands what it like fully means to be like a human being. And like, hey, to each their own, wherever you want to put your emphasis and your accomplishments. But like, man, if you can't cook, I'm not saying everybody knows how to cook, but if you don't even try to cook, that like, man, I'd never hang out with that fucker, dude.
Cooking's not hard.
I like cooks.
Yeah. Cooking's not hard. If you don't know how to cook, just get out there, try it, do some research. It's fun.
No one's a great cook. You just got to try enough times so you become a good cook, you know?
Yeah, but so what's really funny about all this is you guys had to have heard about it, but if not, it's probably better for you. But Andrew Tate and Greta Thunberg?
Thunberg.
I thought it was N. Thunberg.
She's Swedish. I don't know.
Yeah, she's Swedish. Well, they got into a Twitter debate where she posted.
Yeah, he's probably said way more worse shit than people shouldn't be cooking. He's probably like,
yeah.
He lost me at not talking shit about cooking while he's like decimating like people's like identities for like no reason at all and being like rude as fuck.
Yes. Well, they got into a dispute on Twitter where she posted something about not carbon fibers, but emissions, and he tweeted her back being like, "Oh, like how about my like at 32 exotic cars?" And she clapped back at him, and then he posted some really douchey video of him eating pizza. And the funny thing is that the pizza box was a Romanian pizza company that's only in a certain area, where the Romanian government was trying to track him down to arrest him for trafficking and sexual assault, I believe.
It was something like, I just like read a little bit more about it. I guess he was like making pornos with like women. Like, I don't know if he was like making like in them, but I just mean like, I think he was like producing them, and then some people were like,
it's probably dark web stuff, because I know a lot of it had to do with underage females.
Oh shit.
And so they were looking for him, and then once they realized that he posted a video with him with a pizza box from a certain area's pizza company, they got his ass and arrested him. And I think he's looking at like 30 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah.
You know what I just thought about too with like the whole like, could you see these fuckers like on Instagram and they're like, I'm rich, I am like, like it was Dan Bilzerian. He's the new Dan Bilzerian.
Yeah.
Dan Bilzerian didn't say much, but he would just like hire a bunch of prostitutes to like just like be around him.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I go, man, like that's crazy. These guys have so much money, like, and people think like they must be like super successful businessmen and like
cool. They're such cool people because they're wealthy.
Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, like I think a lot of people just go like, oh, they must be so smart or such good businessmen, and then I kind of realized that like that's not the. I mean, most people do realize that, but they just don't have the ethics that most people have, because you could make money if you did like really unethical shit like screwed over a bunch of people and just were like a horrible person. Like, you could make money like that probably.
But do you want to be that person?
Yeah, most people go, no, that's like illegal or that's like really fucked up. And then these guys just do it, make a lot of money, and then pretend like they got there, Like Dan Bilzerian, like, well, he had to like leave the country.
His dad's like a billionaire. He didn't do anything.
Not only that, but like he frauded a bunch of people and he had to like flee the country. And like same with this dude. Like apparently he was just doing horrible ass shit. It's like, hey, and Elon Musk had a blood diamond mine. So I mean.
So yeah, the Taliban asks for Andrew Tate to be freed. Claims that they are worried about him. Let's move on.
Damn, that's so sick. I'd be like, yo, Taliban, can you like shut up for a second? Like, I actually don't need any support from you guys.
You guys are actually kind of hurting my case.
I mean, I read it too, and they said that they feel bad because they feel bad for Westerners, which is so weird to think, because they said there's like feminists are like waging a war on like masculinity in the Western hemisphere, and I was like, that's so funny. Like,
hey,
of course they would love this dude.
Yeah, worry about your own shit, huh? We're fine over here.
Oh my god, he should go hang out the Taliban. Damn.
You see the Taliban banned PUBG because it was too violent.
Really?
Yeah.
They also banned like women going to school, which is very problematic. They said they weren't going to do it.
That woman looks like she's thinking. Get her. Like,
yeah. They're like, put a dead man's brain in her. Hurry. Take her brain. Put that dead man's brain in it. It's like, god damn. Anyway, yeah, we're not saying anything groundbreaking. Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna say it, guys. I don't care if it's an unpopular opinion. I don't like the Taliban.
I second
that.
And
I like when women are educated and can go to school. I don't care. Sue me. Cancel me for saying it, man. I love those guys. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Anyway, so you took my other news story. Do you have another one?
I got two more. Are you out?
Yeah.
You empty? All right.
Taliban.
Wells Fargo fires top banking executive for urinating on plane passenger.
Whoa.
Did you see about that?
No. What?
Yeah, I guess the Wells Fargo banking executive was shit house on a flight, got in an argument and like pissed on the lady.
What happened to just good old punching each other? Remember, like when right when we shook the
pandemic?
Well,
it was a 72-year-old woman. So
who peed?
He peed on her. So it's a good thing he didn't physically assault the 72-year-old woman. It is disgusting, but I mean, I'd rather see an elderly person peed on than pummeled.
Kind of like the best move on an airplane, though, because like you can't take a shower, you can't really change because the bathroom's too small.
Yeah.
You.
Especially at 72, there's no way.
Oh yeah, dude. Your limbs don't move that way anymore.
No, I don't even think I could do it anymore, and I'm 32.
Wrong move. She bumps the toilet flush button. She gets sucked down the toilet.
Plane goes down.
Plane goes down. Call the Taliban. They want to hire this guy.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, is that too soon now? It's been like
I don't know if it's too soon. I just think it's too. I think it's too much. Oh, I'm too much. What about the guy that pissed on a woman? Okay, True. Especially when you're a banking executive for Wells fucking Fargo. Good.
Well,
God.
how do you think he became an executive? Morals, no ethics. Piss on an old woman. You know,
That's true.
You can be the next Wells Fargo bank executive. You just pissed on an old woman. Don't. I don't want to. Am I getting? Oh, now I might get.
All right, I got one more.
Yeah.
And this one I'm not going to elaborate on at all. You just have to hear it and accept it and move on.
Okay.
Homeless man arrested for stealing excavator to help man change his tire in downtown.
Good guy.
I freed the guy.
Yeah.
You know?
That's. Hey, as we know, people have done worse with excavators and bulldozers.
No good dig goes unpunished.
Whoa, that's sick. I don't know what his thought process was. He's like, I'm going to help change this guy's tire with an excavator. Is that like lift up the car? He could have just bought a jack.
Yeah, he lifted up the side of the car.
I know we weren't supposed to discuss this, but that just sounds too cool.
I mean, honestly, who's leaving keys in excavators? And also, how does this homeless guy know how to operate an excavator? Because have you ever tried doing one of those things? It's not as easy as you would think.
I sat in one drunk.
It's a good thing you weren't operating it.
You're goddamn right. They had one on my street in college, and we all walked home, and there was one right there, and they were tearing up the street, so we all got in it and put on hard hats, and they left the hard hats in there, and it was a great time. Really fun time.
Well, I mean, it's good they at least left the safety.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they did. Fuckers.
Anyway, I have no tires on my car anymore.
It's the way to go, man. You don't have to replace them if you don't have any.
We went around stealing so many tires that night. It was great.
Hell of a night. Never forget that night, boys.
Tire Tuesday. But okay, well, I think we're caught up on the news. Should we just like get into these stories? Because I got a moon to pick with you.
All right, pick my moon.
Okay. Now, David, you know about the moon, right?
Boy, do I ever. I was only there last week.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Crushed legs and all. Or lack thereof, crushed legs. Moon boots, we get it. We know you. Yeah, we know your prize was.
All of my fucking gems.
Dude, forget about the gems. You have your life, man.
I know, but that bastard Salazar, the fucking space wizard, definitely upcharged. Just saying.
Yeah, his brother Gromit got me too.
Oh, goddamn Gromit.
Yep, he bit me right in the penis.
It was a bad bite. It took a long time to get that bleeding to stop.
He bit me good.
You're like a moon whale.
That'd be cool, like a main villain at the end of a movie. He's just like a normal guy, but he bites.
Oh, he just bites a lot?
Yeah, he doesn't even punch. He just bites. Normal mouth, normal guy. Wells Fargo executive, just bites.
I like that.
Cool.
What are you going to call him?
Biter. Come on, I keep it simple. I keep it Marvel. Spider-Man, Batman, Spider-Man.
Ant-Man.
Oh, that's cool. Biter-Man.
Biter-Man?
Hey, Biter-Man. Hey, Biter-Man. Hey, Peter. Biter-Man.
Oh, Biter-Man bit me again.
God damn it. God damn it, Bonnie. Biter-Man bit me again. Okay, I'm done.
Absolutely blowing out my headphones.
You goddamn right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Anyway, okay, so the moon. We went over the moon. We know it's made of cheese. I think we just got to get, like, really into this moon story because this was one I just, like, scrolled across on a TikTok, and I was like, that is pretty interesting, actually. So I thought I would cover it. And today we will be discussing the Great Moon Hoax. So, the year was 1835, and Halley's Comet was back and brighter than ever. After 76 years, the Milky Comet had returned, as spectators stared up toward the heavens in wonder. The curiosity for the final frontier stirred within the minds of each onlooker, as well as in the crowds that gathered to watch the mysterious marvel. Remember, this was 1835. Morse code had just been invented.
Whoa.
Also, the revolver. This is the year of Morse code and the revolver. I had to look that
That's
one
a
up.
hell of a year.
Hell of a year. So people
Take me
had
back.
so people had a lot more questions than answers. You know, it's 1835. It's just bound to happen. You know, when it came to the unknown, they had a lot more questions than answers. So as people wondered at what else could be out there in space, of course, in the black void of space, a question was finally answered on August 25th of 1835. A man by the name of Dr. Andrew Grant had published a story in the newly established, only 2 years old, penny press newspaper, The Sun. So I think a penny press is like a kind of a cheap newspaper. It was like 2-year-old newspaper. You know, it's kind of like tech companies now. It's like this was a startup newspaper. It was new. It was news really, but it was new, and everyone was just being like, I'm going to create my own newspaper. So, so a story got published in The Sun stating that, I think it's kind of funny actually, that it's called The Sun and the story's about the moon. I didn't really think about that until just right now. It's pretty fun.
Coinkydink.
So, next week we're going to the moon. We're fucked. I mean, we're going to the sun. We're fucked.
Yeah, I have to go back to the fucking space wizard.
So a story was published in the Sun stating that oh my god, I'm all over the place. Sorry. Dr. Andrew Grant had published a story in the newly established The Sun stating that he had received news from a colleague, friend, and famous astronomer of the day, Sir John Herschel, that evidence of life had been discovered on the moon. Ever so close, but far enough away, the idea of life on a neighboring celestial body frightened, invigorated, and perplexed the masses. But the details that would soon follow would create even more chaos. So, the articles being supposedly reprinted from the Edinburgh Journal of Science, you know, an established science establishment, let's just say. I know I said established twice. But it stated that Sir John Herschel had traveled to Cape Town, South Africa, just the year prior to set up a very powerful and new telescope in order to study the heavens, which was in fact true. All that was true. What followed next was more up for interpretation. Dr. Andrew Grant had described how Herschel had found evidence of physical life on the gray sphere, including, but not limited to, such fantastic animals as unicorns, two-legged beavers.
Oh, well, I mean, beavers kind of walk on.
I was kind of thinking the same thing.
They don't always, but they like you know, when they're chewing fucking wood, they're walking on two.
I agree. Two-legged beavers, I don't know what he meant by that, and furry winged humanoids resembling bats. The articles also offered vivid descriptions of the moon's geography, complete and massive craters, enormous amethyst crystals, rushing rivers, and lush vegetation. So all that shit was going on the moon.
The dark side of the moon.
You know what? That's what's kind of crazy is that, like, you look up at the moon, you're like, whoa, it's pretty gray.
You always see the same side of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
The moon doesn't rotate. So
well, then this fucker would be seeing the same side of the moon as us. He's got a telescope. He ain't got a moon turner.
No, that's just what I'm saying. Like, factually, like, we always see the same side of the moon. Like, there is a dark side of the moon that we've never, like...
True.
Us on Earth have never looked up and seen.
Very true. Very true. That's kind of haunting to think about.
Isn't it a little spooky?
Man, I love Pink Floyd. So
let me tell you, it's cold on the dark side of the moon. We can tell you that because we had to go over there.
That's where Gorbor lives, huh?
That's where Gorbor lives, and that's where the only bathroom was. Remember, and they would give us moon fines if we pissed on a rock. We'd have to walk all the way to the dark side to use the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Nightmare. It was a nightmare. It was like at a camp. It's like you would go to a campsite, but like the camp ranger's there, and he's like watching you the whole time, and you're like, okay, I'll walk over and shit in the little hut instead of behind my car.
And you know what's crazy? When we finally got to the bathrooms, they were like beach bathrooms. They were like
covered in sand.
Covered in sand and smelly piss, and like it had like a prison toilet. You know, the ones that are just made of metal.
Yeah, flip flops everywhere.
No toilet seat, just like straight up like ass on metal.
You gotta line the toilet with the flip flops you found, and you know everybody else is doing them, so you don't know which side should go up. Oh god.
Yep.
Nightmare. Those moon toilets are nightmares.
So like I said, this guy, there's bat people on the moon.
Yeah. I mean,
They're like, there's bat people, unicorns, beavers.
That's why there's no trees, because the beavers.
True. And they're like, just not any beavers, 2-legged beavers. I think this
Yeah.
guy forgot that like beavers do have 2 legs.
What if he's just talking about like you just put a beaver head on a Bigfoot, just like swole as shit, 6-pack, big packs.
So they do got some pictures, but
Okay.
as we all know, the bat people are gonna fucking take front and center.
Of course.
If you type in the Great Moon Hoax, you can bring it up right now. There's some very great pictures.
Okay.
Just like very detailed, just like very lush surroundings. They're just nice. But so that was the first story that came out in the newspaper, and 5 more stories about the new moon were published in subsequent weeks. The articles described animals on the moon, including bison, goats, unicorns, bipedal, tailless beavers. Okay, I didn't see that part.
A
That
beaver
part
with no tail is no beaver.
that ain't a beaver. That's a dog. That's just a child. Don't look at it.
That's just a little boy.
Oh, he hairy boy. That's a little hairy boy. So tailless beavers, and like I said, bat-like winged humanoids, as they called them in Latin, Vespertilio homo, which I think translates to Batman, which is fucking cool.
Batman.
Biterman. Oh, Biterman is beaver without tail.
There you go, man.
That's Biterman.
Full circle.
So, and they also they built temples as well. If you didn't know, they're all on the dark side, of course. That's where the bathrooms are next to.
We've seen them. We stayed a night in one. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. So if you want to know, the Batmen were described as such. So I tried really hard to like pull the actual articles. I couldn't find them anywhere. Like I couldn't find the publications, but like they're out. I mean, I assume they're out there somewhere. But 1835 was a long time ago. Everything melted from then. Mm-hmm. So. The average, here's what the Batmen look like. The average 4 feet in height, were covered except on the face with short and glossy copper-colored hair, and had wings composed of a thin membrane without hair, lying snugly upon their backs, from the top of their shoulders to the calves of their legs. The face, which was of a yellowish flesh color, was a slight improvement upon that of a large orange orangutan, being more open and intelligent in its expression and having a much greater expansion of forehead. The hair on the head was a darker color than that of the body, closely curled, but apparently not woolly, and arranged in 2 curious semicircles over the temples of the forehead. So that's your typical vampirosomo, you know?
It's something, huh?
It is something. It's quite a sight to see. But like I said, do you see the picture of the moon and of the bat people?
Did I ever?
I'm kind of loving the design of the bat guys.
I'm bricked up.
Yeah, they kind of just be looking like what are those guys who like squirrel dive?
Bat.
No. What's the guys who like fly through like mountain crevasses in their wingsuit? Wingsuit dudes.
Yeah, sure. Wingsuiters.
Yeah, they kind of look like wingsuiter dudes, you know? And like I said, the moon also displayed trees, oceans, and beaches. These discoveries were supposedly made with an immense telescope, like we talked about, of an entirely new principle. But eventually, the authors, in like the 6th story, the author announced that the observation had been terminated by the destruction of the telescope by means of the sun causing the lens to act as a burning glass, setting fire to the observatory. The boy pointed the damn telescope at the fucking sun, and it melted everything. I can't believe he did that shit. Obviously, it's not true, but like, what a great way to like end your 6-story article, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this.
It sounds like you didn't have a good way to end it, so he's burned it all down.
He's like, I forgot to mention, motherfucker pointed it at the fucking sun, and he's blind, and the shit burned down. Like, come on, guy.
More like he's blind and knocked the damn candle over again.
Probably that. They're like, that's too embarrassing. Just tell him that he got burned like a fucking ant. God was like, don't look at my Batman and my Biterman. And then you just fucking turn the magnifying glass on him, you know?
These subjects are not for your eyes, little man.
These bathrooms are for me and my ugly children creatures without tails. So the popularity of the paper shot up, and so did sales. People love a Batman. They still do. The only issue was none of it was true, as in the title, The Great Moon Hoax. Apparently, the Edinburgh Journal of Science, that's that like establishment that like apparently quote unquote like funded or like backed this research, had stopped publication years earlier, so it wasn't even a thing anymore. It had shut down. And Dr. Andrew Grant was a fictional character. The guy writing the story was not a real person.
Oh, that's a twist.
So the articles were most likely written by Richard Adam Locke, a Sun reporter educated at Cambridge University. So a smart guy, but intended as satire, the stories were designed to poke fun at earlier serious speculations about extraterrestrial life, particularly those of Reverend Thomas Dick, a popular science writer and Christian philosopher who claimed in his best-selling book that the universe contained 21.9 trillion inhabitants and the moon alone had 4.2 billion inhabitants.
This is not enough room.
Yo, this guy was a Christian philosopher.
The moon is
like,
significantly smaller than the Earth. There's no way that many people would fit on the moon.
Well, I just at first I was
guess
like,
they could be real little.
That's true. I guess like I was like Christian philosopher seems kind of weird, but I feel like everybody was very religious back then. You know, it's just because it's like, you know, you didn't question too much stuff. But like at the end of the day, I kind of respect this dude because he's like, I'm a Christian philosopher. Also, there's like 21.9 trillion aliens out there. And like most Christians today will be like, God made us and that's it. And I'm like, oh,
it just makes me think if I was put back on that time, what type of wacky shit I could have came up with. And
oh man, you would have been like wearing a top hat with a wagon and being like, "Come over here, drink my potion. It'll make your thumb longer." And like everyone's like, "What? What the fuck?"
You're gonna want longer thumbs when them video games come along. Don't worry about it now. You'll like it.
No, you'd be like, I went to the moon and Gloob Glorb is on there. Like the shit you've been talking on this podcast is exactly what you'd be telling them.
I'd be much more exciting. Oh man,
you're already really exciting. Don't worry, you're exciting.
Is that the end of your story?
No. So strangely enough,
that was a record for shortest story you've ever told.
It's actually not much longer.
Okay.
So, strangely enough, but it ends with a fucking bang, dude. I'm not kidding. Hang around, people. You are not expecting this one. So, strangely enough, even after the reveal of the hoax, because after a couple weeks of them releasing these, like, 6 stories in the paper, they're like, oh, it's like, you know, this is all not true. It's all fake. But the paper never redacted it. They never took it. I mean, you can't take it off a newspaper, but like they never said like, okay, we want to cover this up. Like they're just like, no.
They never did like an article being like, this was all for fun. Like they never.
They might have done that, or maybe it would be word of mouth. I don't know, but they never like. I think a lot of newspapers back then, if there was like a story that ended up being like libel, slander, false, whatever, they would go back in their like history and their records and redact it. So they just black it all out, so nobody else can read it and be like, we fucked up. But they never redacted this, so it was like still available to the public, I guess, in their like archives or whatever. But strangely enough, even after the reveal of the hoax, there wasn't much fallout. People generally thought it was humorous, and readership had no fall off at all. Even stranger was the fact that it was said that the Great Moon Hoax actually improved circulation so much that it left the paper even greater and more popular than before, elevating it to the same level of the New York Times.
Damn.
That's like kind of
impressive.
People say that's like they're like, oh, that's like not 100% true, but like regardless, apparently people did not really have too much of an issue with it. It was a legit publication but they liked the story so much and they thought it was so fun and like humorous that people were like, I kind of like how quirky that new paper is. Like, I'll still believe them, but like,
Yeah.
they might catch me one day. I gotta be on my toes. They're like, breaking news, president shot. And they're like, oh God, they get me again. I'm not fucking, that's the problem with having a newspaper. You can't be making fucking jokes in it.
Yeah.
But like they pulled it off. I don't know.
Unless it's the funny page.
People in 1835 were like pretty chill. Now you like turn a Starbucks cup like red and people fucking freak out, man.
They sue you.
Yeah, everyone's just like back then. It's like, it's fine. Like you guys are just having a good time, and then somebody makes a joke today, and everyone's like, "Oh, you hate America?" And be like, "Wait, no, that's not
commie.
true. That's not fucking true." So 5 years after the debacle, here's how we end it. So 5 years after this debacle, in 1840, Richard Adam Locke, the man who we thought was maybe the author, came forward and claimed that he had written the fictitious stories in a letter he wrote to a different publication called The New World. After revealing his true identity, another author came forward claiming that the hoax was not in fact an original idea, but one of plagiarism.
Oh, boy.
I know. So the author claimed that the story was a plagiarism of an earlier work called The Unparalleled Adventure of one Hans Pfaall. And soon after, it was in fact revealed that at the time of the hoax's publication, that Richard Adam Locke, the guy who wrote the story in the newspaper, was working as an editor for that said author. So technically it was
not a good look.
Not a great look. So luckily the author refused to file any charges, but 4 years later in 1844, the author went on to publish his very own hoax because he's like, man, that looked fun. I kind of want to do that. So he published his very own hoax in the Sun, the very same newspaper that Locke published in. And the hoax told of the quote-unquote true story of a European man named Monk Mason who traveled across the Atlantic Ocean in only 3 days using a gas balloon. So the story was redacted only 2 days later and revealed as a hoax because I guess he was just like, whatever, I don't really want people to like run with it. I'll just redact it as like a little joke. But it was revealed as a hoax. But the man who wrote it would leave a far more lasting impression in our telltale hearts, as his horror stories filled with dread and despair would haunt us even to this day. The author, you ask, was Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
There's like a full connection. So he wrote this short story, and his editor was like, oh, that short story was kind of cool. I think I might have an idea. So he went and worked for the newspaper as well, published this fucking crazy story, and Edgar Allan Poe was like, that's like super close to like the story I wrote.
Yeah.
And then he wrote a fucking little hoax 4 years later.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
So if you ever up at the moon, come say hey to us. Come say hey to Batman.
Say thank you to us.
Biterman. Gooblar, he's up there.
I mean, we can be real here and, you know, breaking news, but, you know, we have Batman families up on the moon.
Well, we have to protect them. There's one more villain up there that we have to kill, right?
That's true. We got one more.
Edgar Allan Poe's evil brother, Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Bite Man.
Oh, well, he goes by Biterman.
He goes by Biterman,
AKA Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes.
Yeah, he's so I just thought it was a super cool story. I love a little, like, we got a little cryptid in there, we got a little historical in there, and we got
I would love to like read those.
Dude, I was looking so much for, I could not find them anywhere.
That's crazy.
I mean, I'd have to like probably look in an archive or something.
They're all gone from the flyers.
Actually, I think there was one, but the text was so tiny I couldn't really read it. But like, you know, it's whatever.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But yeah, the Great Moon Hoax. Check it out for yourself if you like. We'll post some pictures.
Yeah. Well, now that we're back, we took a little bit of unexpected time off, and I didn't once think about stockpiling stories, or at the bare minimum make a list of things that I thought thought they were interesting.
Interesting.
And I figured I'd go back to the old trusty, which is what is
Cryptid.
it?
Oh,
Yeah.
monkey?
No, cryptid. You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
But monkey might work on this.
Okay.
So stand
Monkey
up.
might work on anything.
It's true. So stand on up, roll out the neck, pop the knees, and scream at your neighbor. You know which one. And
Well,
Richard. Let's get into a new type of Bigfoot.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Yes. You are a big foothead.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino.
I aim. I'm on my Tarantino shit. Don't call me logic. We.
The podcast is over. I'm done. I'm fucking going home. I'm done.
Well, when I say new, I don't mean he is new or it is new, because it's quite the opposite. Now, of course, if you are a good student of the camp, you would know the concept of a Bigfoot goes very far back to the Native American culture, long before us white devils came along. But today we're going to talk about what I believe was the first ever recorded Bigfoot Sasquatch recorded, like, colonization.
I've had one of those. And
have you?
Post is better than pre.
That's true. Oh,
during.
Drinking that thing.
Oh yeah, I actually never had a colonoscopy.
It was a blast. I had one. It was great.
It was a blast. Did it blast a lot of water up there?
I blast a lot of water. They blast a lot of water. We all blast.
Wait, do they fill you up with warm water and then you have to shit it out? I know my buddy got like a bunch of warm water.
They give you a drink that like you just basically just
I know
hang
the
out.
drink. I know the drink.
You just hang out.
Basically hang out.
You just hang out. You become a waterfall.
Dude, that shit looks gross. It's like a gallon jug filled with like powder, and you just have to drink these like electrolyte type thingies. Not electrolytes.
This was a while ago, but I remember it being kind of. It
Gross.
kind of tasted like a Pedialyte, like kind of salty.
That kind of sounds like electrolytes, but like
Yeah.
I think it does something like it illuminates shit inside you when they scan your balls.
Yeah, the balls were big.
My balls filled up with water. I was like that guy who sits on like a beanbag chair. Have you seen that guy?
Yeah.
You seen that guy?
We've all seen the guy.
We
don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You've seen the guy who has like elephantitis in his balls and he
Oh.
walks around in like a fucking skirt and then he sits on his balls like a beanbag chair? Everyone's seen him. He's like the Hat Man. He's the Sack Man.
Too much melatonin, you're gonna see the sack man.
He broke my foot.
So I realized that in my intro, I might have been a little misleading and implying that this Bigfoot was of the United States of America, but this big boy is in fact Canadian.
Oh, okay. No, they had some white devils up there too.
Yeah.
French white devils.
Oui, oui. Mon Dieu, je m'appelle David.
Woo, that's pretty good.
yeah,
I'll do an English thing.
I went to 3 years of French school, and that's the only thing I can say. They kicked me out.
You went to 3 years of French school?
Yeah.
I learn something new about you every day. That's why I love this relationship. That's why I love us.
No comment.
Wow. Okay.
September 1906, a group of Canadian men were building the head frame for the Violet Mine east of Cobalt, Ontario. I had to Google it because I didn't know what a head frame was.
Is that the thing outside of the mine that's like the wooden structure?
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
It's the large structure used to plunge down at a it's like what the elevator kind of thing is. It's like the shaft. So it's like a big wooden structure at the opening. That
Keep describing the shaft.
It's long. There's vines going down it. There's all sorts of critters crawling around, making
and the
all
men,
sorts of crazy business.
the men in the mine, the miners used to be boatmen. They used to be out on the ocean, so it's full of seamen. You need strong.
Well, you know they're peeing all the way up and down it. But yeah, so it's basically like what you'd imagine like an elevator shaft going into a mine on like in today's world, or movies you see. There's like always that big structure they go down when it's not like they're mining directly into a wall. It's like when they're going straight down.
Oh, that's what it's a straight down mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the group of men were building the head frame as the whole group at once saw something they couldn't comprehend. There before the men, standing 8 feet tall, near 400 pounds, the Bigfoot creature walked tall. The men said the creature was covered in dark brown to black fur, walking upright, tending to a slight limp, but the limp wasn't the key feature that separates it from the other feet freaks.
You got swagger.
No, so it wasn't the limp. It was a bright blonde yellowish mop it sported on its head.
Dude, you love a Bigfoot with something on its head. With the taku
It's always the head. It's always the head.
Is it
It's not me making this up. This is me finding it and reporting it. I didn't make this shit up.
Yeah, but you remember the taku? What does he wear?
A little top hat.
Goddamn right.
With this distinguishing feature, the creature was quickly named. You want to take a guess at what they named this guy?
You haven't even said the name yet?
No. It has a specific name for this specific Bigfoot.
Blondie.
Blondie, okay. No.
Or Mop Top.
No.
I
I don't think you're ever going to get it, so I'm just going to let you fire some off.
Okay.
So it's a Bigfoot with a big old blonde head of hair.
Okay, Mushroom Dude.
No, not Mushroom Dude.
Little Egg Boy.
Little Egg Boy. No.
Farmer Frank.
Farmer Frank. No, I think that was one of the guys that saw him.
Last one. Olympus Mons with a wig.
That's cool, but no.
No, nothing.
The creature was quickly named Old Yellow Top.
Oh, I was like kind of in the like
leaning towards it, right?
Once I said Little Egg Boy.
Little Egg Boy's so close to Old Yellow Top, it's crazy.
Three words. This kind of has an old ring to it.
Yeah.
Old, lil, just start with an adjective,
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you say old yellow top?
Old Yellow Top.
That's what your grandpa likes to take you out when you when you graduate junior high. I'm gonna take you out an Old Yellow Top. I'm gonna drive you around. What? Where are you?
It could have gone so much worse. Okay.
No, it's convertible, dude. Well, lack thereof. Got no top.
Yeah, no top. It's got no top.
Got no top.
The men stated that Old Yellow Top never came in contact with them, but would constantly show up to check out what the silver miners were doing. The men noted that Old Yellow Top was never aggressive or territorial, even if the beast could have torn them to shreds with ease.
He just stopped by. He's like OSHA.
So he would get a little close. They said sometimes he'd get close. A lot of times he'd be kind of far off. Mm-hmm. But he would stop by all the time to see what all the ruckus was about.
Yeah, because I'd be a little upset and be because he doesn't use silver. He doesn't understand the concept of silver. I mean, at least for monetary purposes. Maybe he's making jewelry or something like that.
I mean, you got no value for it, then what's the point,
Yeah, but that they're fucking up his house. That's like me showing up to your house and I start hitting it with a pickaxe and I was like, I love asbestos. I know you have it in your walls for sure.
He could have just been oh man, the bathroom's getting a new building. That's crazy.
That's true. He's like, you guys gonna put a prison toilet in there?
I hope that's what you're mining all that silver for, boys.
Did you just say the bathroom's getting a new building?
Yeah.
Is the whole cave a bathroom?
Maybe. I don't know what this guy's doing.
It's like my apartment now. I don't have a roommate technically, so I've just been using it as my bathroom everywhere. Hallway,
like-
watch your step.
They're like, man, this mud stank. The bottomless cave. What's going on here? Keep
He's
finding rabbit skeletons in this mud.
True that. Anyway.
So, yeah, that's where it all begins. 17 years had passed since the workers had seen Old Yellow Tea until the year 1923. In 1923, two prospectors who were working in the same area of the woods said they stumbled upon what they believed to be a bear. This bear they saw was hunched down, eating blueberries off a blueberry bush, as one does. And these batshit prospectors, vibing off whatever moonshine they decided to drink that day, said, they don't have time for no fucking bear, and started zinging rocks at the bear in attempt to scare it off.
What? I just walk away. Why are they... They don't need to, like, throwing rocks at a bear. I mean, they must have been drunk, right?
They had to. They're prospectors.
Yeah, true.
One of the men struck what they thought was a bear in the back with a large rock. The hulking creature slowly stood 8 feet tall on its back legs, turned its face towards the men to reveal that it was no damn bear. Old Yella started to walk towards the men with a confused look on its somewhat human face.
Huh?
But once he got a good look at the men, he stopped, turned, and walked away.
He's like, oh, I know these fuckers.
He's like, oh, it's just these hairless little things.
Yeah. He's like, I want some more blueberries.
The men described the beast as covered in brown-black fur with a yellowish hair on top, and they also noted that they believed the creature was an adult. I don't know why that was a thing. Like, why they're not like, yeah, that's a man. That's no kid. That ain't no little kid.
He's doing his taxes.
He didn't have one of them hats with a propeller on top and a big old lollipop and suspenders. That was a man.
It's true. You know,
he wasn't dragging a wooden horse on wheels. That was a man.
Yeah. This ain't no kid. He ain't watching the Disney Channel. He doesn't know what a decom is. Look at this fucker.
A decom?
A Disney Channel original movie, you dumbass.
I didn't know what that was.
This is a Disney Channel movie. You know Lucky the Irish?
Oh, God.
Sorry, I'm done.
So,
damn, blueberry bushes are sick as fuck. I'm just like realizing that. Like that just like you could be like walking around in like 1910 and be like, I am so hungry, and like you walk past. I've never seen a blueberry bush. I've seen like some blackberry bushes, but like blueberry bush.
No, I don't know what the fuck that looks like.
I'd go hard on a blueberry bush. I'd be like, oh my god, like
I would eat until I died.
Yeah, are they covered in thorns? Like blackberry bushes, I know are covered in thorns.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I feel like they're just very welcoming. I just love a good blueberry bush. I kind of want to like plant one now.
New Year's resolution, everybody. We're all planting blueberry bushes everywhere.
I didn't even know they came in bush form.
Let's bring them back. What'd you think they came in? Pods? Trees?
It's just something you don't think
about. They grew on a turtle's back?
Yes, they rained down from the heavens. It was a gift from our Lord.
So
after
the second sighting from the two completely different viewers, Old Yellow Top was no longer a myth, but more of a local celebrity for the Canadians in the area. But Old Yellow wasn't done blessing us humans with his presence yet. The next sighting occurred in 1947 by a woman and her child.
Boy, this guy lived for hecka long. He might have been a child in Bigfoot years.
Well, there might be a little mystery hidden within his name they haven't figured out yet. The yellow top foot was spotted walking the edge of the forest towards Lake Gillies in Ontario. But, this viewing was from a distance, and the woman believed that Old Yella didn't even notice that he had some onlookers watching him.
He's really oblivious. You should be a little bit more aware of your surroundings if most interactions you have end with you getting hit with a big rock.
But I mean, this is also 1947, so like, you know, I'm
Rocks
sure
weren't invented.
they weren't invented, and air wasn't around. This was
Blueberries
this was the first. This was the first year of lakes. Lakes hadn't existed yet, so
This is a little new
Lake
to
Gilly's
everybody.
new.
Yeah, this is new.
But yeah, no, it was 1947. So like, I tried to look into every single one of these cases, and it was very hard to find any more like detail in them. So who knows if there was, you know, how far away they were, if they were on the other side of the lake or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and like we might have missed some stories where like motherfucker like tore a dude in half and ate him. You know, it's like
God no. Someone threw a boulder at him, and he just looked at him and walked away. He's just like, all right, I guess I'm done with the blueberries. Fuck
yeah.
you guys.
Guess why? He was full of blueberries. He was full, dude.
It's true.
You catch a hungry old yellow top.
Yeah,
You're lucky to leave with your balls still attached.
it's true. So at this time, based on his first sighting, the locals believed Old Yellow was around 40 plus years old. Assuming
Wait, you started when? And now it's 1942?
started, what was it, 1906? Oh, I'm scrolling way. Yeah, 1906. Now I got to scroll all the way back down. Yeah, so 1906, and now we're at 1947.
And they knew he was an adult, even though, like, when they first saw him, nobody was like, that's a kid Bigfoot.
Well, that sighting was the two prospectors were 1923.
Oh, okay. Okay, he was like teen Bigfoot. He was like young adult Bigfoot.
Early 20s, maybe. Because, I mean, the first sighting, like, they saw him a ton while they were building this thing, and they never said, like, he was, like, a little Bigfoot. They said he was still, like, 8 feet, 400 pounds.
Maybe they come out like, you know, like giraffes, like they're already like a little tall, you know?
You'd expect.
Yeah, it's like, you know, humans are much different in nature. Like, I watch like these fucking animals drop out of like their parents, like like on the safari, and they get up and they immediately walk. It takes us like a year or two, you know? It's like Bigfoot, they're resilient. Like, you get up or you get smashed with a rock. That's the reality of it.
I wonder how many times prospectors just bashed a baby Bigfoot with a big old rock and never reported it, you know? Just found one, learning to walk, and boom! We'll never know. Could have happened many a times. We'll never know about it.
It's true. It's true. Someone's got a baby smushed Bigfoot skeleton laying around their house somewhere.
So yeah, what I was saying was they believe that Old Yellow was 40 plus years, assuming that there was only one that people were seeing. You know, like
that's true.
Yeah,
multiple yellow tops.
Exactly. And this is where we go into the grand finale. Old Yellow Top's final and biggest sighting.
Wait, was it by Edgar Allan Poe?
It was in 1970. No,
he's old as fuck too. Old Black Top, they called him.
Old White Top. Old Top.
It was that dude got no top. I swear to God.
Bone.
No, he got no top at all, dude. The guy was.
That's why he's so fucking sad. Big old fucking emo dark shit. He got no top.
He's like, bury a heart under the floorboards. My dude, that guy needs top.
Thy sloppiest, thy top.
He's like, will I get top? Nevermore. Nevermore. No, that's what he says when I'm okay. This is getting vulgar. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. This is a children's show. You have to remember that. Wu-Tang's for the children, guys.
They don't know what we're saying.
No.
So, one day in the year of 1970, so that's actually fairly recent, a bus driver was shuttling out.
53 years ago.
I'm just saying.
I guess compared to early 19. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's only 20 years before I was born.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot we were talking about Bigfoot. That is a pretty early, a late sighting for a Bigfoot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one day in the year of 1970, a bus driver was shuttling out 27 miners to their mining work site, and the bus driver slammed on the brakes. The coal miners, in shock of the driver bringing a large bus, to an immediate stop, all stood up to catch a look at what would make the driver react in such a way. All 28 men, which is the 27 miners plus the driver, stared as Old Yella limped across the street.
Still had the limp?
Oh, yeah. Unfazed by the large bus. The bus driver, who admitted he was an Old Yella doubter, said he thought it was a bear walking out of the woods when he hit the brakes, but realized he was mixed up as he saw the 8-foot monster cross the road on 2 feet. The bus driver, along with all 27 minor passengers, described the same wonder: a large animal that almost looked like a man, covered completely in blackish gray hair, with a head covered in yellowish white hair that went down to his shoulders.
Oh, he's getting older, hair longer, a little gray, a little distinguished.
This man got some salt and pepper under his butter.
Yeah, I'm liking him.
Some salt and pepper on the butter.
Daddy?
Dad?
Zaddy? Is that a zaddy? Old zaddy top?
With this final sighting, locals would determine Old Yella Top was over 60 years old. Unfortunately, this would be the final sighting, leading to fans to believe that Old Yellow Top passed away not too soon after from old age, quoting, the visible signs of aging of this Bigfoot. So tonight, I'd like to raise a glass to our old man. We hope you are enjoying your well-deserved afterlife, wherever that may be. Rest in peace, Old Yella.
Rest in peace. And I don't want to blasphemize this lovely man, but yeah. I'm afraid that Old Yellow Top might have had some. I think he was dumb as fuck. Maybe.
What if he just had like a receding hairline, like a yellow skullet?
Old man ponytail. Oh, a skullet. Yeah.
He had some Birkenstocks.
Bald ponytail. But no, I was
size 38 Birkenstocks.
Well, I was just afraid that that final story just kind of solidified. I think he's like kind of dumb, which is fine. But like he just got hit with a rock and like didn't retaliate, and then he walked into oncoming traffic. Like.
But maybe he knew. Maybe he knew. He was like, I better make a sighting because I'm gonna die in like a week.
Yeah, I'm actually just like kind of proud of him that he like made it to like 60 plus when like he just like straight up like hoping a bus stops for him as he runs into the street with a limp. Like obviously a bus didn't stop the first time. He has a limp, right?
Well,
something kept going.
I don't think he was necessarily slow with his limp. It was just that he had kind of that gaunt to it.
Okay, like a gallop almost. Like he has a little. Okay, maybe it's just like his style,
Well, what I found so interesting about the story is that, we do all these stories about like Bigfoots and stuff like that, but like, I don't think I've ever read a story where we have accounts from one specific creature through like a long extended period of time that actually notes their aging.
That's a good point. Like showing that, like, because most Bigfoots, you're like, oh, they're all brown. They're all, they all kind of look the same or walk the same. And they kind of give like some characteristics where they're like, I mean, they show that he has graying hair. They show that he's got the limp. Like, you kind of know him a little bit, Old Yellow Top.
Yeah. And the name is great. It's hilarious. Old Yellow Top.
Almost as good as Little Egg Boy, but yeah, it's pretty
close,
good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
He had a little egg on. He had a little scrambled egg up top. A little upstairs scrambled egg. Maybe in and on the outside of the dome.
Yeah, a little scrambled inside for sure. But he rocked the scrambled outside.
Yes, he
put
did.
Put a little salt and pepper on those eggs at the end. We talked about, but yeah, he looking good. R.I.P. I'm glad that only one person may have hit him with a rock. I didn't want like a lot of people smashing rocks over him. So.
Yeah.
And it probably felt like a flick to him. He's fine.
Might have felt
He's
good.
fine. Yeah, he's like, you scratched that itch.
Yeah.
Thank you, bud.
Couldn't
So-
reach that with my old arthritic shoulders.
Yeah, he ran across the street with 2 noodle arms because he dislocated both his shoulders trying to scratch his back.
Yeah.
It's cool. Anyway, so to Old Yellow Top, love him, like him, gotta have him. And to you guys.
I need more yellow top.
So, thank you guys for sticking around and listening to these wacky, weird stories. And we love telling them to you, and we love it when you want to listen. We don't know if somebody's got you strapped to a chair making you listen, but we hope this is on your own volition. If you guys want any more information, go to Camp Strange Podcast on Instagram. We'll post some pictures of the new moon hoax, the old moon hoax. And I got old and new stuck in my head because you're talking about Old Yellow Top. We'll post some pictures of Old Yellow Top and the moon hoax, the Batman and the Biterman.
I just want to be new yellow top, you know what I mean?
You can do it. You're new red top. You got some red in that beard. No, you got brown hair.
I feel like the red in my beard's gone away.
Yeah. You think you're dying.
Probably. I mean, we all are, right?
Hey, amen, brother. We'll end it on that note. You're all dying. Bye. No. If you guys want to rate, review, subscribe, you can do that too. Click the link in the bio for merch. You can do that too. Share it with your friend. You can do that too. Hey, man, we all just having a good time out here. And go into the forest and find yourself a goddamn blueberry bush and pick some. But make sure they're blueberries. I don't want you eating something poisonous. I want that on my conscience.
Yeah.
Okay? But David, do you have anything to say before we officially head out?
I actually do, for once, and it's news for us.
Oh, God, this is, like, disturbing. I don't know. Why did you tell me this? Why are you saving this for the end of the episode?
Because you know
Breaking up
about
with
it.
me?
You know about it, and I just realized it.
Oh, okay.
We do, in fact, have a new T-shirt design coming out soon.
Oh, that's right.
We have contacted our original artist. That is at Hexia, which it's on Instagram at
H-E-X.
HEXYEAH.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does great work. He's the guy who does the logo we've used this entire goddamn time.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome artist. The guy is a total sweetheart. Love him. And he is currently working on a new design for us that will be going on a t-shirt, which also means that one of our t-shirt designs is going to have to go away. So make sure you go buy all of our shirts now because one of them's going to go.
It's going to be the black one with the small logo.
No. We don't know which one it's going to be. So go buy all of them, you know?
We want the $8 from the t-shirt sale.
Yeah,
There's soft t-shirts. If you guys just want like a soft little sleep shirt that you can like wear around your house, like it's one of the greatest sleep shirts you can have. I'm telling you right now.
Order it a little big so it's a good little jammy jam for your sleepy sleeps.
Yeah.
And I am very excited to see what Hex comes up with because it's going to be a special design. It's going to be very relevant. We will be featuring one of our listeners on it, which is also very exciting.
It's super relevant. It's okay. I just have to give a little hint. It's definitely about the Russian war.
Yeah, it has everything to do with Vladimir Putin and
Zelensky.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It's Ukraine-Russian war related. we
also,
thought we'd capitalize on that.
There's a lot of seafood involved too.
It's not any of that. Please don't get your hopes up. Don't be disappointed when it's not.
Well, now I feel like we got to
seafood.
do that. Shit.
Anyway, okay, but yeah. So get ready. We don't know when it's officially coming out yet, but I mean we'll be back in 2 weeks to keep you updated, and hopefully it'll be done by then. We'll see, but we gotta figure it out. But anyway. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again, and don't forget to stay strange.